Hello, everybody. Bob and I are headed back from Lonoke, Arkansas to the Chicago area, and we have a huge update. It is very big. The Supreme Court has already ruled on, microphone. The Supreme Court has ruled on the writ. So I'm going to wait a second, give it a chance for some people to get in here. Maybe repeat it more than once. But copper. Hopefully we're getting on this highway here. 57. All right, who do we have? History and homicide. All right.
We got one.
We got one.
One viewer.
Still one. We got 3 likes, one viewer. It might take a second for my phone to tell me. So when you get on, you'll give it to me and I'll read it. All right, we got 11 people. We are going to start. We have no idea if or how this might affect our future plans. But the Supreme Court has ruled on the writ. Now, to refresh anybody who doesn't know, the defense filed a writ to the Supreme Court of Arkansas, which is very unusual. In your typical criminal or civil, but we're talking about criminal. But criminal case, you don't go in front of a higher court until after there has been a conviction. And the defense almost can never do something interlocutorily before a conviction. However, here, they petitioned the Supreme Court because the judge had limited the number of seats available to the media and the public in the courtroom. And the defense argued that it was essentially a closure of the courtroom. In that same petition, they asked the court to remove the judge and reassign her. So we have an answer. The Supreme Court has ruled. And their ruling is as follows. Petitioner's petition for writ of certiorari and other relief. Emergency consideration requested. Expedited consideration granted. Petition for writ of certiorari granted. Writ issued. And here's what they said. Circuit Court's January 13th, 2026 order limiting courtroom occupancy and no recordings. Vacated.
Woo!
Gone.
Woo!
Done.
Woo!
And also, Honorable Barbara Elmore removed.
Boom! She gone.
The judge is removed.
She gone.
And is to be reassigned to a special circuit judge appointed by this court.
Wow.
The Supreme Court will be appointing a special judge to preside over Aaron Spencer's case moving forward.
Wow.
This is an extreme remedy. This is more than I figured they were going to take some action, but this I did not expect by any stretch of the imagination.
I kind of did, for the record. I kind of did.
See this?
Yeah, no, I did. It's like, here's the thing. It's on the YouTube. I said it. Like, you know, they already had the stink eye on her.
Yeah, you
We
did.
knew that.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. So the court also notes, all right, that 3 judges, Baker, Hudson, and would deny the petition for writ. So they wouldn't even allow the court to hear the matter. Further, the matter is immediately stayed pending this court's appointment of a special judge.
But the majority rules. That's why the three judges that weren't down got overridden by the majority.
So there you have it. The
Huge
Supreme
update.
Court of Arkansas. The Supreme Court of Arkansas has spoken. Goodbye, trial court judge. You're out of there. Gone.
She gone.
So I do not know. I think if I'm Aaron, the lawyer, the defense lawyer, I am filing some new motions. I am bringing some additional motions in limine. I am asking the court to exclude things that should have been excluded. I'm asking the court to re-rule on things that were ruled on. I'm doing anything in my power if there was a, on the suppression stuff. There's some serious issues. Look, it's the rule, it's the law of the case. She's already ruled on it. But if they can find some new reason, something, I think considering that this judge was removed, which is such a severe and extreme remedy, that maybe it's possible that they can get the judge to reconsider every one of her substantive rulings. There's essentially been, the argument can just be there's the appearance of impropriety, but there's either that or there's straight bias here. And if the court thinks there's bias, that's a good reason to reconsider her rulings. If the court thinks there's the appearance of impropriety because that judge ruled on those motions, maybe the defense can get the court to reconsider all the previous rulings that were significant and negative as far as his statements that they claim show that he had the intent.
And the loss of the micro SD card in the dashboard cam that vanished into thin air in terms of what she thought that was no big deal.
Can you guys hear Bob when he talks when the microphone's on facing him?
Can you hear me?
Can he hear you?
Can you hear me?
I'm going to put it over to him when I finish this sentence, but that the recordings that the court allowed in, where they claim it shows that his attempt and pre-plan to, not involve the police and handle this thing on his own, when it's not relevant. As if anyone has, listened to any of our lives before, we've been more than boisterous about the fact that shit is not relevant to what occurred on the day that this so-called victim was unalived. And to Bob's point,
yeah, well, I guess to echo what Ali was saying, but the micro SD card from the dashboard cam of Fosler's truck that somehow vanished into thin air, revisit that, because Elmore did nothing with it. She didn't care. She didn't think it was a big deal. There was just a trust me bro situation. Cop who said, "Oh yeah, I watched. It was 6 hours of just blue lights. That's it." Well, I don't believe it. I don't believe him, because those things, and the defense input and experts, I guess you'd call it their opinion in that particular motion, and they said the entire point of a dashboard cam is that when there's contact with the vehicle, that's what triggers the thing to start recording. In theory, that dashboard cam would have recorded everything that took place post pit maneuver, when Spencer bumped him off the road. So in theory, it could have caught everything that went down, which you would assume, if that's the case, if it was helpful to the state, it wouldn't have vanished into thin air. So, maybe it's just the defense lawyer and me being, incredibly pessimistic about the truthfulness of law enforcement, but yeah, everything's up for grabs. So what do you think in terms of this? Certainly could delay trial.
So that was the other part of this. What does this mean for us? We do not know, and we do not care, because this is a huge step to justice being done, a huge step for the fairness of the trial. And I just want to say, this is pure speculation and just an assumption that I'm coming up with right now. I venture to guess there are some justices on that Supreme Court who are wondering why in the hell a father, a war veteran, an upstanding citizen is being charged for second-degree murder for unaliving a deviant who took his child in the middle of the night and refused to let her go. All after assaulting her, being charged with it. She's the only living witness to this guy's ultimate life sentence. Now, I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't. But in my mind, I think it's a possibility that some of these justices are wondering why the hell this case is proceeding in this manner. I mean, to not even charge like manslaughter or...
Yeah, to jump right to second degree.
I mean, he shouldn't be charged with anything. Make that clear. He should not be charged with anything. Bob and I, in our expert legal opinion, believe this is justifiable homicide in every sense of the word. So that's our opinion. Let me see what you guys are saying out there. We've got...
Did you get a super? Looks like you have a super up there. I can't tell.
No, I don't think there is.
Money
Is a 0.
Oh, okay.
So, but Leslie said... No, it moved. This will make the trip worthwhile. Does that say Brianna?
I can't see it.
Can we hold our teenagers hostage without liberty? Yeah, right? I mean, it's just absurd. It's just absurd. The whole thing is absurd. Aaron Spencer should not be charged with this. The state should not be wasting money prosecuting someone for this. This just needed a whole different thing. And maybe I'm being too optimistic to hope that somehow this special appointment by the Supreme Court might open the door to getting this case gone.
Because the special appointment does not mean that the judge is coming from Lonoke County. They can handpick a judge from anywhere in the state to come and sit on this thing. Just be clear about that. Like, they might be getting out of the old boys network. Maybe they get a judge from Little Rock, or one of the bigger towns. Who knows? And that judge could have a completely different opinion. Do you think that they might be able to attack the charges again if they get a new judge?
I think that I would try to either, gosh, I can't remember if in Kentucky, because I know they've got a new stand your law ground in Arkansas. Jeez.
Wow.
Wow. I know we looked into this early on, and I was thinking, is there a way to assert the defense as a bar to prosecution? I think I might try filing a motion to dismiss, arguing somehow that it's unconstitutional as applied, and just throwing everything from a constitutional standpoint, from a statutory standpoint, that I could in to give the judge an avenue to dismiss. Because look, it's just not designed that way. Our federal system is not, our criminal justice system is not designed to get rid of charges before they are presented to a jury or a fact finder if you choose a judge. It's designed to, once they get past that grand jury phase or they get their indictment, that you have to fight it in court. So the law is not on the side of getting charges dismissed, especially when there's a factual dispute. But I'll tell you, I sure as shit would try. Now, Sarah, who I can't see the last name, says, hey, is Aaron on bond? Can't you?
He is out on bond.
He is out on bond. Can't something you guys again. Can...
Hey, is Aaron out on bond? Can't you guys again? I don't know.
Okay, so Aaron is out on bond. So this is makes it all the much easier to get a continuance, to extend things out. The victim is deceased, so there's a lot of reasons to delay. And then Kevin says, do you think the judge is throwing shit and yelling at her staff right now? I'm sure this judge is not happy. I mean, I don't know what her normal demeanor is. From what I heard from everybody in that courtroom today, it's snarky, snippy, and
And as much as she tried to hide that, it still slipped out.
It slipped out, but I swear she was like muted. She was like, that's what I saw.
The best part of this is that the Supreme Court, when they're issuing this writ and making the decisions, had no idea. In their estimation, this was set to go to trial on Monday. So, you know, they went through the process of expediting this, making it happen faster, not knowing what happened in court today. So it's like two ships passing in the night. You got the Supreme Court, in theory. Well, I mean, like, I have a feeling that this was getting drafted out while we were in court.
Right. To Bob's point, this wasn't a decision
Allison
made.
Always has to like kind of diminish. Like, why do you do that? In theory.
Because I was thinking it's possible that one clerk
to
call the other, but you're right. They'd be happening at the same time because it didn't get decided split second.
So if once they appoint the new judge, what do you think is the time frame on that? Like, theoretically, you want a new judge coming in and familiarizing themselves with the procedural posture and procedural history of the case. You don't want, it's not like they just get on the bench and say, let's go. Like, you need them to know all the rulings that were made prior, because they are the gatekeeper of the evidence. So they need to know what the other judge, and to Allison's point, like when we got a new judge in Garcia, Allison filed a motion for that judge to reconsider tons of rulings by the prior judge because she thought that he was wrong on the law.
All to no avail. The difference there was that judge wasn't removed for either impropriety, bias, or the appearance of impropriety. So I feel like the door could be open, and I feel like with a legal team behind you, you were supposed to be in trial anyway. You got nothing else on your plate but motion writing. So I would be doing it. I would be filing it, and I'd be trying everything under the sun.
All right, you're about to die.
All right, we are about to die, so I'm sure there's not another super. I don't know if we thanked everybody on the Zells and Venmos. What was that $200 Zelle we got?
I have to be on my phone.
Darn it. All right, somebody's owed a very huge thank you. We're working on it. SS Cupcake, I'm assuming that's a Melanie Cupcake, says, does it matter that he was not indicted by grand jury? I mean, Arkansas law is really weird on that. What I don't understand is why, if it doesn't matter whether or not you're indicted by a grand jury, why then do you not have to have a preliminary hearing? That's what I never understood. It wasn't an issue even raised by the defense, so I think that's me missing something, in Arkansas law. And I think when I researched it, Arkansas was one of like 2 states that don't require a preliminary hearing. So it's shocking to me. But I would take that argument that the defense made early on about getting it dismissed because of the grand jury and kind of roll that into something more here, attacking the, and just arguing that a severe fundamental unfairness that, that would result from going to trial. But it's a slippery slope. You can't have, and the courts won't allow, unless they revamp the entire system, people declaring their innocence, attacking the charges beforehand, asking a higher court or the lower court or the judge, just dismiss this on its face. It's just not done, and their courts are very careful about, opening the door to a whole new, legal situation. So I'd still try, trust me. I'd be thinking of all the ways to try. Heathery,
Sugary.
like sugary, like the dead, says, is trial delayed now? Court cameras, I believe SD cards show that the state's attorney had something, showed something, so it had to disappear. Okay, so it's possible it will be delayed because, as Bob was saying, you want that new judge to get familiarized with the case. Now, that's not something that can't get done in 4 days. You know, he's got like the weekend, and he's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And Aaron wants to go to trial. Aaron does not want a delay.
The defendant wants
Aaron Spencer's ready to go.
To be heard. Yep. He wants his day in court to prove his innocence. So court cameras, that's a good question, because they specifically said they were vacating the part about the recording. They could have vacated that January 13th order in part, only dealing with the seating. So it's a very good question Heathery raises. Is it possible that we'll now have cameras in the courtroom? And we agree. Bob absolutely agrees. We both agree that damn SD card, and for anyone who doesn't know, there was a recording device on the victim's vehicle recording the front and back of their car. That device, that SD card that had that recording, just poof, up and vanished, and one cop claims he looked at it and there was nothing on it. So thank you, Heathery. Rest in peace, Bobby Weir.
Yes.
And it looks like that is it for supers. So thank you guys. Bob and I have
Yeah, and for everybody that is donated via Venmo, unfortunately we're using my phone. I can't see them. We will definitely shout you out. We are so appreciative. There was some very generous people I know. Like Ali said, we got a $200 I think it was a Zelle, and then we got another $100 Venmo, but there was a bunch of generous people. We're going to give you guys the love. I'm sorry that we can't do it right now. There's just no way for us to do it while Ali's live. But we love you guys so much. If anything else pops off while we're on the road back home, we will be sure to advise you. And can't wait till this thing is trial. I hope it doesn't get delayed. I hope it doesn't get delayed.
Right. I hope it doesn't get delayed as well. But I wish we could answer more of your questions right now, but Bob's phone is dead and the microphone is plugged into the part that charges the phone, so we can't do that either. But get all your questions ready and throw them at us next time we're live.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Hype share, and subscribe. And if you get the option, hype the damn video. All right. And remember, ask yourself, what would you do to protect your child? And would the law protect you once you did it? Wait, sorry. We got United States of Disorder says, I can help you make sense of the Arkansas judiciary. 4 years of investigating. It's pretty profound. I'll share my work if you like. Yes, of course. You can reach us at a truecrimepod@gmail.com. You can also reach us at Insider at Defense Diaries, but a true crime pod will go to multiple people so that it doesn't get lost in the mix, I guess. And yeah, thanks again.
Are you saying goodbye?
I think so.
All right, bye guys. We love you.
Bye.
Bye from the road.
Bye from the road.